Please be seated. Welcome to you all, family and friends of graduates, faculty, staff, administrators, and members of the graduating class. I'm Kirsten Thorson, Dean of the College of Liberal Arts. It is my distinct pleasure to welcome you to our commencement celebration honoring this graduating class of Colorado State University. Right? Those who are able, please stand and face the stage as the Colorado State University Wing Walker Honor Guard presents the colors. The Colorado State University Brass Quintet and vocalist Christy Schuck will lead us in singing our national anthem. Thank you. Please be seated. Both CSU and the College of Liberal Arts recognize our unique history and mission as a land-grant university. The liberal arts approach to learning forms the heart of Colorado State's heritage as a land-grant. A liberal arts education encourages individuals to develop strong intellectual and practical skills such as communication, analysis, teamwork, empathy, creative thinking, and problem solving. Because the first word in land-grant university is land, it is incumbent on us to recognize where that land came from and how that land's history permeates everything we do. As such, I invite you now to turn your attention to the Jumbotron and the screens behind me as we share CSU's land acknowledgement.
Colorado State University acknowledges with respect that the land we are on today is the traditional and ancestral homelands of the Arapaho, Cheyenne, and Ute nations and peoples.
This was also a site of trade, gathering, and healing for numerous other Native nations.
We recognize the indigenous peoples as original stewards of this land and all the relatives within it.
As these words of acknowledgement are spoken and heard, the ties nations have to their traditional homelands are renewed and reaffirmed.
CSU is a land-grant institution, and we accept that our mission must encompass access to education and inclusion.
And significantly, that our founding came at a dire cost to Native nations and peoples whose land this university was built upon.
This acknowledgement is the education and inclusion we must practice in recognizing our institutional history, responsibility, and commitment.
Now I would like to introduce the members of the platform party who are joining us today. I will ask each person to stand and remain standing when I announce their name. And despite their awesomeness, please hold your applause until all names have been called. The president of Colorado State University, Amy Parsons. Wait, maybe we can applause for this one. All right, now follow instructions, please. Dr. Michelle Stanley, Associate Dean for Undergraduate Studies and Interim Vice Provost of Undergraduate Affairs. Dr. Ryan Claycomb, Senior Associate Dean. Dr. Alyssa Bronstein, Associate Dean for Research and Graduate Programs. Dr. Ellie Light, Assistant Dean for Student Success. James Iacino, Chair, Tiger 21. Dr. Michael Ponte, Chair, Department of Anthropology and Geography. Dr. Ellie Mosman, Chair, Department of Art and Art History. Dr. Nick Marks, Associate Professor and Director of Undergraduate Studies, Department of Communication Studies. I heard that. Dr. Daniele Tavani, Chair, Department of Economics. Professor Tom Conway, Master Instructor, Department of English. Dr. Robert Gudmestad, Chair, Department of History. Professor Kevin Foskin, Director, Interdisciplinary Liberal Arts. Dr. Marilee Long, Chair, Department of Journalism and Media Communication. Dr. Jonathan Carlion, Chair, Department of Languages, Literatures, and Cultures, and Interim Director of International Studies. Dr. Dan Goebel, Director of the School of Music, Theater, and Dance. Dr. Ken Shockley, Chair, Department of Philosophy. Dr. Bob Duffy, Chair, Department of Political Science. Dr. Sushmita Chatterjee, Chair, Department of Race, Gender, and Ethnic Studies. Dr. Tara Opsel, Chair, Department of Sociology. Please join me in recognizing our honored guests. Please be seated. Graduates, you are joining an extraordinary community of liberal arts alumni, 55,000 strong. You join them in achieving an education that includes both deep study in your specific discipline and broad knowledge of the wider world, of culture, of society. You know, like no others, that the edges across disciplines are the places where the energy for the future can be found. You know that our capacity to change the world depends on a deep understanding of human experience in all its complexity. You know that the arts, that music, dance, theater, and the act of writing all can evoke emotion, can change our perspectives, and can invite us into transformative moments of connection with one another. You are the future of public service, of creativity. You are the future of innovation and being bold and strengthening our communities, our civic life, and our democracy. It is going to be a really awesome future. We are thrilled to welcome you to the alumni community of the College of Liberal Arts. We will be watching with pride as you make your way in the world. We can't wait to see everything you're going to do. Congratulations to your families, to your friends, and to you. Your achievement is extraordinary. I now have the honor of introducing the Associate Dean for Undergraduate Studies in the College of Liberal Arts, Dr. Michelle Stanley, who will recognize our graduating students.
Thank you, and good afternoon. Today, the faculty, your family, and your friends have gathered to celebrate your achievements and your bachelor's degree. I will be recognizing many students among the graduates by asking them to stand, and please stand if you're able. I also want to recognize that some of your family have brought giant cutouts of your faces to commencement today, so make sure you scan the audience for your face. The liberal arts faculty has dedicated their lives to scholarship, research, artistry, outreach, and more importantly, teaching and mentoring students. Will the members of the faculty, including those on the platform, please stand and receive our appreciation for all that you have done for the graduating class. Please be seated. As we celebrate your graduation, we also want to recognize some of the special accomplishments of members of your class. The College of Liberal Arts is pleased to honor these students who have earned teacher licensure by completing an approved academic program and professional education requirements, including student teaching. Students who have earned teacher licensure can be identified by the powder blue cords they wear today. Would the graduates who will be licensed by the state of Colorado to teach in elementary, middle, and high school please stand and be recognized? Please be seated. A significant number of students have enriched their education by completing requirements for a program of study beyond the major. Will all students who have completed a second major or minor please stand and be recognized? That's very impressive. If you received a minor in a foreign language, would you remain standing or get back up? Please be seated. That is very impressive. You all worked very hard. We appreciate you being in our college. Colorado State University is dedicated to creating a world-class university that welcomes all students and strives to make international learning accessible. As an institution, we encourage students to engage in education abroad, connect across cultures, and become more curious about the world. So too, we benefit by welcoming international students who have chosen to make Colorado their academic home. Will all students who participated in education abroad during their time at CSU and all international students who are graduating please stand and be recognized? Please be seated. A first-generation college student is one whose parents have not earned a bachelor's degree. An important aspect of Colorado State University's land-grant mission is to provide access to education so that a wider community of students may experience the transformational potential of a college education. The success of first-generation students in our college and our university is a point of pride for all of us. I am pleased to ask all first-generation students in the graduating class and among the faculty to please stand and be recognized. Please be seated. In 1916, Congress created the Reserve Officers Training Corps, the ROTC, which provides military training at civilian educational institutions. We are honored by the enrollment of veterans in majors across our college, and I'm so thrilled that I was a part of your ceremony yesterday for those of you who move to second lieutenants, so it's nice to see you all again. Will those graduates who were commissioned as second lieutenants in the United States Army or Air Force, or students who are veterans of any branch of the United States military services, please stand and receive our thanks and our respect. Please be seated. Will those who are veterans of any branch of the United States military services and those in the audience as well, please stand and receive our thanks, appreciation, and respect. Please be seated. The University Honors Program provides an optional, enriched educational plan of study for CSU students, and these students can be recognized by the green gowns they are wearing. Also nice to see you again today, having shook your hand on the stage yesterday. Will the candidates for Honors Scholar please rise so that we may applaud your achievements. Please be seated. Colorado State University recognizes the highest academic achievement of today's degree recipients by awarding their degrees with distinction. The candidates for graduation with distinction are wearing gold gowns or, in some cases, green golds with gold cords. Students graduating with distinction have earned a minimum of 60 credits at this institution. Will all candidates for graduation, cum magna and summa cum laude, please stand and be recognized. Please be seated. I would now like to welcome to the stage and the podium Assistant Dean for Student Success, Ellie Light, to introduce our exceptional graduating student speaker, who happens to be from my home department, and I'm very proud. So please welcome Ellie Light.
I am honored to introduce our student commencement speaker, Leah Dunphy, a music education major graduating magna cum laude. Leah exemplifies the transformative power of a liberal arts education at Colorado State University. While here at CSU, she has mastered the French horn and has performed in every major music area at CSU, from wind ensemble and jazz big band. And usually she's in the back of this room playing in the band. She has spent countless hours working with all ages of students as a music educator and inspiring others through her performances. She has represented CSU at the International Horn Competition of America and has performed at Denver's Dazzle Jazz Club. Like so many of you, her liberal arts skills are versatile and unique, extending beyond mastery of a single subject. Leah is a leader, she's a teacher, and she even has a second-degree black belt in Taekwondo. Her journey demonstrates how the College of Liberal Arts prepares students not just for careers, but for lives of versatility, of impact, and inspiration. Please join me in welcoming Leah Dunphy to the stage.
Thank you, Assistant Dean Light. Welcome, friends, family, mentors, professors, and fellow graduates. Today, we celebrate a great accomplishment and transition. I want to express my deepest gratitude to my family, my cohort, and everyone in the music program that enabled me to be standing here today. How do I become an adult? I was only 13 when I first asked my dad this question. I'm sure many of us of all ages often wonder the same thing. My dad chuckled and wisely answered, "A little bit at a time." Especially in college, I often revisited that question as I navigated mistakes, choices, questions, risks, and the excitement of discovering who I am becoming. I am learning that becoming an adult is about embracing the complexity of life, both the celebrations and the uncertainties. Like many of you, I entered my freshman year in 2020. The mask mandate, social restrictions, and the Cameron Peak fire shattered my image of what college would be like. As a music education major, I wondered if anything would ever be the same. Would I be able to play my instrument with others in the way that I loved? What did my professors look like? Would I ever be able to see joy on the faces of my friends as we made music together? Would I ever meet my students face to face instead of through a screen? Looking back on those years, I grieve what we lost and am grateful for how far we have come. For us to be here today is a testament to our resilience and perseverance. As liberal arts majors, we are artists, writers, musicians, speakers, philosophers, historians, and more. We study life. In a world that values capital, efficiency, and hyper-individualism, we bring balance through art, community, and love of the process. We know the patience and dedication required to create, and we are poised to enter the adult world with the skills to transform what we take in into something new. We live in a time where division and fear threaten our communities. Although it may sound trite, building community is vital. I am so grateful to be surrounded by musicians, philosophers, and artists in my daily life. When I play in an orchestra, I am part of an ensemble, which literally means together. The ensemble is made of individual skilled musicians, but we can only play a symphony by being together. I take comfort in the communal nature of the humanities as a tool for healing and goodness. In times of uncertainty and disunity, artists become part of the solution. Author Toni Morrison captured this by saying, quote, "This is precisely the time when artists go to work. There is no time for despair, no place for self-pity, no need for silence, no room for fear. We speak, we write, we do language. That is how civilizations heal. I know the world is bruised and bleeding, and though it is important not to ignore its pain, it is also critical to refuse to succumb to its malevolence," end quote. Even in the chaos of adulthood, I urge you to find chances to fill yourself with life. Seek simple pleasures, eat good food, be curious, sit in the sun, and marvel at the sun and the stars. Take deep, intentional breaths. Find moments to be still. Spend time with people you love. Laugh often and practice joy, especially when it is difficult. How do I become an adult? It is a lifelong practice of finding and nurturing the little things in life that spark your passion. As we step forward, let us carry with us our empathy, creativity, and ability to build community. I encourage you to use your skills to be an ambassador for the kind of world that you want to live in, and always seek opportunities to learn. Friends, take this weekend to be grateful to your family, friends, professors, teachers, and others who made your journey possible. Thank yourself for investing and not giving up. Celebrate and be present with your loved ones. Reflect on what you have learned and what you still wonder. Finally, I encourage you to carry with you the nourishing power of art, music, and stories, no matter where your path leads. Thank you.
Thank you, Leah, for your wonderful words. I'd now like to introduce our keynote commencement speaker. James Iacino is the former owner, Chairman, and CEO of Seattle Fish Company, a business born and raised in Colorado since 1918. James brings deep experience in business and community leadership, as well as peer learning organizations. He was a member of Vistage for 7 years, Young Presidents Organization for 8 years, serving as past president of the YPO Colorado chapter, and Tiger 21 for 5 years in Denver, where he now serves as chair of 2 groups. James was named Ernst & Young Entrepreneur of the Year and Colorado State University's Graduate of the Last Decade in 2016. He served as chairman for the No Kid Hungry Colorado Leadership Council and past president of the Colorado Children's Chorale Board of Trustees. James is the co-founder and past chairman of the Green and Gold Foundation, benefiting Colorado State University, his alma mater. He is a passionate aviator, fly fisherman, and world traveler. James and his wife Megan live in Fort Collins with their 2 sons, Edwin and August. Please join me in welcoming James Iacino to the podium.
Thank you, Dean, distinguished faculty, families, friends, and most importantly, to the graduates in the class of 2024. I must admit something. When I was first asked to give this commencement speech, my immediate reaction was, "Are you kidding? Why me?" Even after running one of Colorado's oldest family businesses, serving on boards, starting foundations, and yes, winning a few awards here and there, there's still a part of me that questions precisely why I was asked to speak to you today. But you know what I did? I said yes. And spoiler alert, you're going to hear about saying yes a lot from me today. For those who don't know me, I sat right where you are as a graduate of CSU back in 2005, when TikTok was in black and white and payphones existed. I earned a double major in political science and business management, later returning for my MBA in 2012. My path has been anything but traditional. I went from loading docks and driving delivery trucks at my family's business, Seattle Fish Company, to working at a sushi restaurant in Japan, to eventually becoming the CEO of Seattle Fish and growing that 100-year-old company into one of Colorado's most successful food distribution businesses. Along the way, I co-founded the Green and Gold Foundation to support CSU students and programs, ran for Congress in Colorado's 3rd Congressional District, became a pilot, and now work with entrepreneurs and investors to help them make more meaningful impacts with their resources. But what really matters isn't the titles or achievements. It's the willingness to say yes to opportunities, even when they may seem to take you off your planned path. Throughout my life, I've learned that some of the most powerful moments come from simply saying yes, even and especially when you're not sure you're ready. When I was a freshman here at CSU, I said yes to run to the Residence Hall Senate. Was I qualified? Probably not any more than any other freshman, but I saw something that I thought needed fixing. And honestly, I just wanted somewhere to sit down when I wanted a cigarette, and there were no tables at the smoking areas. So I ran for student government, and I figured out how to make it happen. I came to CSU as a political science major in this very college, dreaming of a career in politics, but I realized that maybe the best path to that dream wasn't a straight line. So I said yes to studying business as a second major. I said yes to learning Japanese, which led me to work at a sushi restaurant in Fukuoka, Japan. When my father suggested I need to learn more about our family's fish business, I said yes to driving up and down the coasts of the United States of America, learning about fish from Maine to Alaska, because sometimes the path to where you want to go isn't the one you expected. This is what I call my dead fish era. That decision to say yes to the family business, even though it wasn't my dream at the time, changed everything. I started in purchasing, then found my way to sales. I discovered I had a talent for building relationships with chefs and restaurateurs, and I really enjoyed helping them solve problems. When we lost a major account over a mishandled shipment of shrimp, I spent 4 years rebuilding that relationship, one dinner, conversation, and event sponsorship at a time until we won them back. When opportunities for leadership came, I said yes again, even when I was terrified of doing so. We transformed what had been a steady 1% growth business into a company achieving double-digit growth for nearly a decade. We built relationships with suppliers across the globe, creating redundancies that seemed expensive at the time but proved invaluable when the universe decides to keep things interesting. For instance, when a volcano erupted in Iceland and disrupted our entire supply chain. Anyone who was only importing fish from Norway at the time was faced with fish going bad on tarmacs across Europe, but because we had relationships with other suppliers in other countries, we were able to keep the fish flying to grocery stores and restaurants around the US. Now, here's something I haven't shared much publicly. During those early years when I was building my career and saying yes to everything, I was also struggling with addiction. I was what you'd call a functioning addict. I could party hard on weekends and still show up to run the company, until I couldn't. Until I woke up in a hotel room after a 4-day bender, having missed my friend's wedding, knowing I shouldn't have been alive. That was when I learned something crucial. Sometimes the most powerful yes comes from saying no. 11 years ago, I said no to that lifestyle and yes to sobriety. Yes to a better life. And one of the reasons I'm standing here before you today is because I said yes to getting the help I needed and no to the things that maybe made me feel good at the time, but jeopardized everything else that made my life feel so blessed. You're graduating at a time of unprecedented change. The jobs you think will be there tomorrow might not exist, and jobs we can't even imagine right now will emerge. Artificial intelligence is transforming industries overnight. Climate change is creating new challenges and opportunities. That's why it's so important to be open to unexpected possibilities and to build diverse relationships now. People initially thought AI would start by automating and taking away blue-collar jobs, but it's increasingly clear that the immediate challenge is for writers, artists, musicians, and creatives of all stripes. Does that mean you shouldn't follow your dreams to be an artist? Of course not. But it means that the landscape of that industry is going to change before your eyes. Are you up for the challenges and the opportunities that technological disruption will mean for whatever passion you pursue? Here's the thing about saying yes. It doesn't mean saying yes to everything forever. A few years ago, I made the decision to sell the company I'd helped build. Why? Because I'd been listening to successful people talk about their regrets, and almost universally, they wish they'd spend more time with their families and less time at work. More time pursuing their passions, and less time, well, at least in my case, hanging around dead fish. Sometimes saying yes to what matters most means saying no to something else. And that's actually the secret I want to share with you today. Every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. One of the few resources we can never create more of, at least not yet, is time. So there will be moments throughout life when it's worth taking a break and taking a step back to ask yourself, what's most meaningful right now? What should I be saying no to so I can say yes to more of what truly matters? To the philosophers in the audience, your ability to think deeply about complex problems might be exactly what's needed in the emerging field of AI ethics. To the historians, your understanding of past patterns could be crucial in helping governments or companies navigate unprecedented change. To the musicians and artists, your creative thinking could revolutionize fields we don't even have a name for right now. And this is why I'm so excited about what we're doing here at CSU. We're launching a program next fall bringing together students from different colleges to work on climate resilience solutions. Because the world's biggest challenges won't be solved by business majors alone, or engineers alone, or liberal arts majors alone. They'll be solved by people who say yes to collaboration, yes to thinking differently and learning from one another, yes to bringing their unique perspectives to the table. Here's one more thing I've learned. Surround yourself with people smarter than you. You don't have to know everything. You just need to know what you bring to the table and be bold enough to bring it. Some of you might be sitting here thinking you don't know enough, you're not ready enough, you're not qualified enough. I want you to know that's exactly how I felt sitting where you are today listening to my commencement speech. It's how I felt when I first took over the family business, when I ran for Congress, and yes, even standing here today. And things won't always work out perfectly. As I shared, there were dark times in my life when I wasn't sure if I would make it to the next day, let alone the next career or family milestone. And in those moments, one phrase really helped me get through the toughest of times. This too shall pass. The good times, the hard times, the uncertain times, they all pass. What remains is what you build through saying yes, through being bold, through getting back up when you fall or get knocked down, through knowing when to say no to something good so you can say yes to something better. So class of 2024, as you leave here today, I'm not going to tell you exactly what to do with your lives. Instead, I'm going to challenge you to be bold enough to say yes to opportunities that scare you a little, to be brave enough to fail and keep going, to be wise enough to know when to say no so you can say yes to what truly matters. Congratulations, graduates. Make us proud.
Thank you, James, for that incredible speech. I would now like to invite to the podium Amy Parsons, the 16th president of Colorado State University, to share her congratulations.
Well, good afternoon, Rams, and congratulations. We're almost to the point in the ceremony where you start getting involved here. So this is your moment. This is your time to shine. You've crossed that amazing finish line, and even more importantly, you've built a solid foundation for life filled with purpose, happiness, and impact. Here at CSU, student success is always our #1 priority, and today you've reached that ultimate milestone of earning your degree. Let today's accomplishment always remind you of your strength and inspire you to keep chasing new goals, whether they're bold and adventurous or deeply personal. You've proven that you can rise to any challenge, and that is a superpower. As you step forward, remember that the world needs you, your brilliance and your kindness and your courage. At CSU, you've already learned that Rams take care of Rams, and that sense of community doesn't stop here. In fact, in a lot of ways, it's just getting started as you move into this next phase of your life. Today, you're joining a powerful legacy. For more than 150 years, CSU alumni have led with integrity, transformed their fields, and improved the world. With more than 250,000 alumni worldwide, you're part of a RAM family that is vast and supportive and ready to help you succeed. You'll never walk this journey alone. Be proud to be an alum. Years ago, I sat right where you are, right here in Moby Arena, graduating from CSU, graduating from the College of Liberal Arts, political science, just like James, whoop, yep. That same feeling of excitement and possibility. Over all these years, no matter where I go in the world, in Colorado, across the country, across the world, I've met the most amazing Rams. Look for the Rams. In your workplace, in your neighborhoods, you are going to make the most amazing connections. So when you're out there, maybe you're sitting at DIA waiting to board a flight, or you're on a subway in a big city, or you're just standing in line for a coffee shop, and you see somebody else with a Ram logo on their hat, on their water bottle, on their t-shirt, what are you going to do? Thank you. I knew you'd know that. You say, hey, go Rams. I'm a CSU alum. Strike up that conversation. You're going to be amazed at what happens. That person might be an alum who graduated 30 years ago. They might be a prospective student who wants to be sitting in your seat someday. Might be a professor doing amazing things. It might be James Iacino. I met James many years ago through a CSU connection, and I've been privileged to call him a dear friend and an inspiration to me ever since. Never underestimate the power of that connection out there, and wear your brand. Be that person walking through the airport that somebody says, hey, go Rams, and strike up that conversation. They could be a future employer, a business partner. Never underestimate the power of what you have now as being part of that Ram community. Trust me, your time here at CSU will continue to shape your life in ways that you can't even imagine right now. You have everything you need. You have the knowledge and the leadership skills, the discipline, and a powerful degree. These tools, plus that vast CSU network, will set you apart in your careers and your communities and the causes that you champion. CSU is your forever home. We're in your corner. We couldn't be more proud of you, and we'll be cheering you on every step of the way. The future's in your hands, Rams. So get out there, embrace the adventure, and show the world what you're made of. Go Rams. At this time, I invite Dean Thorson to present the graduating class.
Thank you, President Parsons. It is now my great privilege to present the candidates for graduation in the College of Liberal Arts. They have completed all requirements for the baccalaureate degree that have been established by the university, the college, and their departments. The Faculty Council has recommended to our governing board that these students receive their bachelor's degrees. Will the candidates for all bachelor's degrees from all departments and programs in the College of Liberal Arts please rise? President Parsons will now confer the degrees.
Thank you, Dean Thorson. It's with great pleasure that I offer these words. By the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Governors of the Colorado State University System, I hereby confer the bachelor's degree on each of you, together with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereunto. Let us all recognize the achievements of this wonderful group of graduates.
Please be seated. It is time for the distribution of diplomas. The marshals will now escort the graduates to the platform to be recognized individually and receive their diploma covers. We ask that family and friends keep the aisles clear and take photographs of your graduates after the ceremony. Dr. David Wolfgang, Dr. Eileen Connell, and Dr. Robert Gumestad will announce the graduates' names individually. Would President Parsons, Dean Thorson, and our department chairs please come forward to congratulate our graduates. Graduates, to honor all members of the class, we ask that everyone remain in the gymnasium for the entire ceremony.
Graduates in the Department of Anthropology and Geography. Robert Cole Morenville. Ella Brown. Jacob Richard Foley. Graduates in the Department of Art and Art History, Blake Edward Cahill. Ava Renee Regas. Benjamin Eric Hart. Desiree Hasba Bigay. Parker Brown. Somerset Hazel Wolnick. Zoe Hera. Shannon Rose Stortz. Cole Austin Weaver. Theo Altmeyer. Britlin Faith Stibley. Emily R. LaHood. Alicia Duran. Mia Reynes. Catherine Mary Perryman. Jessica L. Slick. Charlotte Louise Noten. Nea Aurora Mendez Gomez. Caden Christopher Young. Allison Serrario. Alexander Joel Sherman. Joseph Ubby. Benjamin Daniel Schultz. Paige Elizabeth Foster. Nicholas T. Partain. Chase Meadors. Annika Kaylin Christensen. Graduates in the Department of Communication Studies, Brandon Alex Lowell. Jack Aiden Gottlieb. Kiera H. Kirkle. Rachel Mackenzie Stone Allen. Riley M. Shoemaker. Matt S. Greenwald. Hudson Paul Radcliffe. Josiah Jacob Romero. Dominic Michael Chaydez. Minnie Hauser. Sloan Marie Danny. Romy Maria Paulini. Hutchinson Spencer Thomas. Kaya Samantha King. Damaris Natalie Cutter. Kayla N. Katz. Jalen Ruth Gidry. Matthew Davis Hubble. Did I get that? An imposter. Elizabeth Grace Gagenti. Josephine P. Kenny. Olivia Leday. Elaine Catherine Frosch. Madeline Ann Marsh. Cole M. Johnson. Emery Herman. Ella James Fredrickson. Crystal Montana Pollocken. Lauren Chandler Walsh. Elizabeth Quinones. Jack Dean Whipple.
Thank you. Graduates in the Department of Economics. Do you have a last name? Oh, Ethan Price Moore. Stephen Patrick Laffey, Jr. Evan Lewis Begner. Josh Cosgrove. Thies Garrett, William Garrett Thies. Bjorn Schupak. Reed Ernesto Thomas. Gabrielle Elvis Dancy. Nathan Lee. Eric Joseph Briles. Mark Joseph Corpus. Ryan Michael Guerin. Driggs Henry Eckberg. Aiden Cole Wilson. Sebastian A. Gonzalez. Graduates in the Department of English. Amy Mae White. Jesse Venegas. Ian Alexander Forrester. Zoe Dial. Grace Emily Pixton. Emanuela Amari Anim. Andrew James Swim. Guadalupe Flores. Callie Rose Chapman. Mary Elizabeth Cosbell. Lily Hannah Skaggs. Joshua M. Reiki. Joya A.M. Haskin. Juliet Heatley. Cassandra C. Bickford. Ricky D. Wagner. Devin Bauer. Peyton Wiley Parker. Braden Lee Bumgars. Sayukoda Ruff. Emma Lee Kaleen. Kellen Tomshak. Ava Leigh Campbell. Graduates in the Department of History. Gabrielle Marie Lillies. Roanna Bryn Butler. Mariah Nay Phillips. Abigail Danae Snogren. Gavin Michael Fertitta. Liam Ezekiel Angel. Samantha Ellen Smith. Keegan Hunter Baker. Lauren M. Meyer. Jenna Monroe Harper. Matthew Daniel Harrison. Jackson Tucker Carpenter. Tatum Roderick. Jason Varney. Abigail Lene Stoner. Terrence Clark Dickens. Bryn Elizabeth Wardell.
Graduates in the program of Interdisciplinary Liberal Arts. Jamar J. Cook. Isabella McCrea Bagel. Kobe Tyrese Johnson. K.J. Edwards. Avery Morrow. Dominic M. Jones. Zachary T. Schaefer. Haley Yvonne Williams. Kaylee Emma Sheffels. Lily Estelle Peterson. Jasmine Marie Retland. Andrew P. DeMatteo. Ashlyn Reese Conradson. Rebecca Dahl. Logan C. Hauntz. Jacob P. Hogg. Shireen Dayhoff. Sophia Katsilis. Amy M. Wallauer. Graduates in the program of International Studies. Mayers? Okay. Andrew R. Mayers. Caitlin Hope Younghans. Maya A. Dunkowski. Lottie Leanne Sherrod. Owen Callis. What? Guillaume Pierre Jean Gislan Patien. Lindsay S. Graycheck. Regan Delaney Fields. Shasid Jezebel Nahar Armendariz. Abigail Elizabeth Powell. Graduates in the Department of Journalism and Media Communication. Brody Sampson Lefevre. Malachi Brown. We'll give it. Ryan Manzi. Eric Bradley Sofer. Emily Elizabeth Frisk. Jenna Landry. Nicholas Wayne Llewellyn. Olivia Grace Kelly. Savannah Giller. Kyler Brady. Libby P. Tomanik. Abigail Margaret Dorothy McPhail. Nolan Patrick Tubal. Madison Lee Strassheim. Aaron Vestica. Shelby Dimitri Steyer. Okay. Campbell Isabella Bolitho. Samantha Nordstrom. Abigail Flores Johnson. Chandler Jean Dalton. Jackson Roy Patrick. Christopher A. Altenberg. Jacob Winslow Ellis. Sarah Lorraine Withy. Ida McMillan. Damon William Cook. Asen Griffin Gomez. Mia Melise Daly. How's it going? Not bad. Joshua Dylan Harvey. Jordan Marie Wentworth. Roxolana Buckle. J. Marvin Dews. Graduates in the Department of Languages, Literatures, and Cultures. Ashlyn Marie Galian. Sawyer P. Hickson. Thank you. Petra Caprice Vroman Lucas. Ryan Dominic Jagman Bergman.
Graduates in the School of Music, Theater, and Dance. Leah Dawn Dunphy. Laurel Cassie Ava. Benny Ellen Landfair III. Bradley James Irwin. Mason Siders. Nina Redding. Olivia Cologne. Annabelle Xiong. Corey Isabel O'Keefe. Brianna Smith. Hector Manuel Gandera. Avi Alessandra Miller. Ethan L. Bowman. Catherine K. Simonson. Robert Longo. Reynaldi Raharha. Graduates in the Department of Philosophy, Jackson Owens Flynn. Yosef Dushan Nelikovich. Cody A. Trosper.
Graduates in the Department of Political Science. Lorenzo Antonio Gomez. Justin Todd Milka. Ryan McDuffie Camp. Josie Laurel Mosier. Okay. Ajante Shamara Jordan Cordova. Caitlin Marie Brenman. Maddie J. Headley. Haley Jo Wiley. What's that one? Colin Michael Spurgeon Murphy. Samantha G. Kaler. Christopher John Frakes. Jaden A. Sayers. Andrea Juliana Dews. Azaria Torsavia. Juan Carlos Wentlet, Jr. Jimena Luna. Kimberly Diane Jaggard. Haley Vanessa Chacon. Michael Joseph Bumgarden. Haley Elizabeth Neener. Ethan Straw. Lisbeth Param Arola. Emma Elizabeth Harrison. Oh, yes. Graduates in the Department of Race, Gender, and Ethnic Studies. Victoria Stillman. Zan Lee Owens.
Graduates in the Department of Sociology. Jory Howe. Julian Michael Allen. Bennett Rudolph Silverstein. Kayla Manduka. Grace Eileen Stevenson. Ivy Rosabelle Roberts. Cassidy Jamie Bishop. Rachel May Wilcox. Mitchell Elizabeth Perk. Sarah Steingesser. Nissa D. Morgan. Andrea Tinkler. Abigail Scott McCarter. Luis Giovanni Bracamontes. Kyle Ann Drobny. Sophia Adelaide Ferguson. Alexis Ann Bellas. Catherine Beauvais. Carlos Andres Medina. Jayla Marie Ward. Sean Thomas Sakala. Caitlin A. McClatchy. McCartney J. Bogan. Mary Abigail Juarez. Mary Taryn Moran. Viviana Finelli. Kimberly Quintana Prieto. Riley Grace Slade. Madeline L. Crutcher. Francis Martin Conway. Maddie Lynn Walker. Lily Ann Siekmeyer. Abby Elaine Ladegard. Brooke Mackenzie Andel. Cassandra Jean Kelly. Brianna Emily Porter. Sorry. Bassett. Haley Jean Bassett.
See, you got your air horn. Graduates, congratulations. It occurred to me this morning that perhaps some of you graduated from high school in 2020. Yes. And some of you, most of you probably started in the fall of 2020. Can we take a moment to appreciate that we are together in a ceremony? This is for you. Soak it in. This is your moment. And I know that your family and your friends have supported you through these rough years. It was a rough one, wasn't it? At times. But you're here today, and there's so many ways that you would probably like to thank them. But let's start by asking family and friends gathered to stand so that graduates can express their love and appreciation. This is a raucous crowd for a small one in December. I'm impressed. So please be seated if you're still standing. This ceremony would not have been possible without the efforts of many people. My sincere appreciation for the excellent services of the faculty marshals. Dr. Kate DeCesare, Dr. Ted Fabiano, Dr. Jesse Harney, Professor Gina Robinson, Professor Nathan Corey Seymour, and Dr. Pete Taylor. Thank you to our announcers, Dr. David Wolfgang, Dr. Eileen Connell, and Dr. Robert Gumestad, and our interpreters, Samantha Lindler and McKenna Bridges, and the Wing Walker Honor Guard for presenting the colors. My sincere appreciation to the Allied Universal Event staff and CSU Police for keeping us safe, and the facility staff for turning Moby, our home Moby, into a beautiful celebration. I also want to thank the sound technicians and video producers for their excellent work producing our commencement ceremony. Special thanks to the College of Liberal Arts Dean staff and commencement volunteers, especially the amazing Abby Jarosevich and Colleen Weitzel, without whom this event would not have happened. And we're happy to have Sadie back. Finally, I would like to ask the members of the CSU Brass Quintet and vocalist Christy Schuck to please stand and take a bow. Now, will everyone please stand and join the amazing Christy Schuck and the new graduates of CSU in singing our alma mater. The words can be read on the Jumbotron above and behind me. Will the members of the audience still stay, please be seated, and you may stay standing. The tradition of tossing graduation caps goes back to 1912, when graduates of the Naval Academy would receive their new officer hats and throw their old midshipman caps in the air to symbolize the tradition. I invite you to carry on this tradition of transition and moving into your new life. So get ready. If they're fancy, you don't have to throw them, but keep your eye on them. Make this a good one. This is your big celebration. On the count of 3, oh, you know what? I gotta take a picture. This has to be documented. All right. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. All right, collect your hats and please be seated. 2 of our marshals will lead the recessional. Next will be the platform party and then the faculty. Graduates, please remain seated until the marshals ask your row to leave. We ask that all graduates meet their family and friends outside of Mobley Arena or across Plum at the Durrell Center following the ceremony so that CSU is able to prepare the arena for the remaining ceremonies. Graduates, you've left your mark on CSU. Now make your mark on the world. We'll miss you. Please keep in touch. You have reached the end of our commencement ceremony, and we thank you all for being here today and to celebrate our amazing 2024 liberal arts graduates.
Go to the right